All right, what's up, Manhattan? I'm gonna tell some fucking jokes and shit.
Woo!
Woo! All right, you ever notice that people honking in their cars are kind of like dogs barking? It's just like one person starts and everybody else is like, oh, what are we honking at? I'm honking too. Uh, yeah, so my father-in-law actually got taken to the hospital this week, and he's been there before, but this time he got taken to the hospital for being old outside. He was just at a park, and then he got lost, so he ended up sitting on someone's front porch, and they called the cops on him. So apparently when the cops come because someone calls you, or when the cops come because someone calls since you're sitting on their porch and you don't know where you live, they tend to take you to the hospital because they think you're having a stroke. That's not true. He already had several strokes. He just can't remember where he fucking lives. But they brought him home because they had his ID in his wallet. But then before we could tell him it was chill over the phone, they had already taken him to Lutheran General in Chicago. So the thing is, we're getting him out of the hospital over the phone. Like, his neighbor takes care of him. He's literally living his best fucking life ever right now. Like, this Romanian lady that lives next door just feeds him as her fourth child. He's been skinnier than me the whole time I've known him. And, like, he's just, kind of a Spartan guy, lives by himself, just eats Subway for every meal because he doesn't give a fuck. This lady's, like, feeding him dumplings every day and, like, potato soup and shit. So for the first time ever, the last time I saw him, he's actually put on weight for the first time in 30 years. But anyway, so we're calling the hospital and like talking to the doctors and stuff, and they go, "Oh, we can't just release him. He's got atrophy. He's got to go to rehab so he can have physical therapy." And I'm just like, "What the fuck are you talking about? He was outside trying to take a walk when you grabbed him up and put him in a hospital bed for 5 fucking days. Jesus Christ." So anyway, that's what happened. He got caught being old outside by himself. So I have this golf simulator I built in the back of my office recently, and we don't have a projector. We just have this 50-inch TV mounted on a swivel mount on the side, and everybody's seen it, and it's on the left side of the office. And they said, like everybody I worked with, they're like, "Well, what if we kill the TV?" And I'm like, "Well, we work for a property management company. I'm pretty sure we know where to get another TV, but I'm not worried about it. Like, whoever hits it has to get a new one." Turns out it was me that hit it. On the third day of playing golf in the back of the office, I smoked it with a driver, and it actually put a hole in the TV, and the golf ball is still inside of the middle of the flat screen. But they were like, "So you're going to get us a new one?" I'm like, "Well, no, I approve the expenses, so one of you get it and I'll approve it." But anyway, golf simulator in the office. So I finally skied powder this year the other day. I mean, the first powder day was December 6th, I think. And that's when I had the altercation with Wyatt from Volunteer Ski Patrol for Poaching Freshies. But yeah, I was out skiing on Saturday morning at Copper. It was pretty good. And, they opened Spalding Bowl finally. And it was the biggest fucking line I've ever seen in my life for a Storm King lift with the T-bar. And so I was actually skiing with Zach, the former host of Open Mic on Thursday night, and he said he'd follow me, but when I cut the 400 fucking people in line to go through the Fast Tracks line, but around the gate so it didn't scan me, he didn't follow me. But anyway, I got up to the front, got right to the top, skied Spalding. It was fantastic. And I'm pretty sure the line was so long that there were still people waiting in the same line when I came back around again. But same thing, just past 400 people, straight to the front of the line because I'm such a good person. And when I got to the front, I joined a single, and he was on some DPS skis. And I literally looked at him, I'm like, "All right, as a dental professional riding DPS, would you recommend floss or a water pick?" And he was like, "What, that's kind of rude just because, like, the stereotype is dentists ride these skis because they cost a lot of money." I'm like, "Yeah, but I got some Black Diamond megawatts that are carbon fiber, and, like, when I ride those, I'll give you all sorts of advice." But yeah, I think the correct answer is both water pick and flossing. Anyway, I thought I was kind of a dick, so I showed him how to get the lower traverse back into resolution from Spalding Glade, and he goes, don't leave me out here. I'm like, oh, I won't. I'll wait for you at the end. And he came, he had a bunch of, snow on his hat and shit. And he's like, I don't know why I fell. And I'm like, I don't know why I brought you out here. But anyway, finally skied some powder. That was pretty good. So the front of my house here in Leadville, even though we've received like 0 precipitation recently, since my house faces north, literally is like fucking Siberia until June. It's a 2-story house, sits on the street. On-street parking is just a skating rink full of ice and death at all times. Like, I'm surprised the mailman even delivers my mail. But literally a couple years ago, I ordered a vacuum sealed mattress, because I have a skinny Victorian stairwell. And so I got a mattress from Purple, and it comes vacuum sealed. The reason that's significant is I wanted a California King, and my stairwell on my 1880s house is so skinny that to get my regular king bed up there when I moved in, we had to completely taco the mattress, stand on the railing upstairs, and pull it through the gap. Since then, we've hung shit on the walls, so literally, like, it was a no-go. So I needed one that came vacuum sealed in the plastic. I've never had a bed like that before, so I get a shipping notification that it's came. And I look on the front porch, and there's this box that's like, 10 inches by 20 inches by 20 inches. And I'm looking at it out my window on my front door, and I'm like, I know, 'cause science, but if there's a California King in there, I'll be goddamn. But still, I go outside and I pick it up. It weighs 20 pounds, like maybe 10. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I know science, but again, I don't think there's a Cali King in there. So I take it upstairs in my house because I'm afraid to open it downstairs. And I get out my knife and I'm going to open it, expecting it to airplane life raft and shit. And I just open it, and it literally is the pillowcases and sheets for the mattress. But yeah, then I actually did get the bed. It showed up 2 days later, when what apparently happened, as far as I could tell, was the FedEx man drove by the front of my house and kicked that shit out the fucking door into the lake of ice that's in front. But when I tried to pick it up out of the crumbling box, and it weighed like 75 pounds, which is the appropriate weight for a California King mattress, I realized why he gave up moving it to the porch once it got to there. I had to get a friend to help me, but we eventually drug it upstairs. We opened it, and it didn't airplane life raft, but it did, when you open the vacuum seal packaging, open fairly impressively. But speaking of things off the internet, like I said, I just built a golf simulator in the back of my office at work because I don't give a fuck. And so I ordered this Garmin R10, which is a launch monitor from Amazon, and it was like $400. But I got to thinking, like, I return shit to Amazon all the time, and I don't really, I saw a documentary on like plastic waste and everything, and Amazon just throws away whole pallets of shit all the time that they haven't even it's brand new in the box, because it's more cost effective for them to throw it away than it is for them to, have less space in their warehouse for the new shit they're going to sell. Anyway, so I decided I'm going to return the box it came in with like my GoPro case and like 8 golf balls inside it, because I don't really think it matters. And so when I printed out the shipping label, I saw that it was going to Las Vegas, Nevada, to the Amazon returns office. And I'm just like, Las Vegas, Nevada? Just picture that fucking loading dock. I just pictured all the, young Dodge driving set that's there, just being like, man, we don't give a fuck about these returns. So I still haven't got my money back, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to. Let's see. So as the snow wanes, since as I mentioned, my house faces north, that means my backyard faces south, and it kind of drifts up with snow. But every spring, it's always fun to see what's in the backyard, because generally speaking, like when a cookie sheet gets too dirty for me to continue using it, I like to wang it the fuck out the back door into the backyard, and then it's not my problem until the snow finally melts. So as the snow recedes, it's like a glacier just unveiling like pieces of kitchen equipment and empty shooter bottles mainly. But let's see. So Big R in town has anybody shopped there? They have a sign that says Big R has practically everything. But anytime I've ever gone into Big R, I've discovered that Big R certainly doesn't have whatever it fucking is I'm looking for. They should probably have a sign with the two dudes from Spaceballs holding the afro pick that said, Big R ain't got shit. But anyway, so I'm going to close with I made up, it's St. Patrick's Day, and a while ago I made up the most Irish band in the world, and they're called the Fighting Drinking Fighters. And they only have one song because I'm not a musician, but yeah, it goes, that's how it starts. And it goes, we drink, and then we fight, and drink some more, and get real drunk, and pass out, and wake up with a hole, and fight, and drink, and drink a lot of shit, and drink, and fight, and talk a bunch of fucking, I fucked it up. Drink, and fight, and drink, and that's the gist of it. Anyway, thanks, good night.